Hello and welcome to our Galaxy Creation 101. Again, I assume you're a beginner. This is one of your first 1 to 3 games. You know nothing, and you're just looking for some basic hits and tips and that sort of thing. One, I will say, either go check out the Species Creation video, or for your first game, just pick these guys, United Nations of Earth. They're easy to use. They don't really change anything in the game, and they let you get used to all the mechanics in the game as you play them. So we're going to select them, and this is the Galaxy Creation screen. There is a lot here, but a lot of it looks like a log, but it really isn't. Honestly, first few games, just start with everything default, and I'll go over this again. But, however, my suggestion is no advanced AI starts. Advanced neighbors off. Mass relay network maxed out, and Xeno compatibility off. Everything else can just stay as default. And I'll go over this again at the end. Oh, and Iron Man mode off, so you can save the game at any point. But this is my recommendation. But going down the list, Galaxy again, you can just hover over each thing, and it will tell you what it affects and how it affects it. Okay? So take your time, experiment, play a bunch of games, figure out how you want your settings, but for your first few settings, so you get used to the mechanics, keep them all default except for advanced AI starts off, compatibility off, and mass relay network. Okay? Other than that, galaxy size is exactly what it says. Shape is the shape of the galaxy. It just affects, how the hyperlane network is going to set up. Hyperlane networks are how you travel around the galaxy. AI empires, computer-controlled empires, advanced AI starts is how many in the galaxy are going to start with a bonus. Again, first few games off, and then after that, you can turn it to whatever number you want. Okay? Fallen empires are ultra-powerful empires that are spawned in the game outside of advanced AI starts. They are endgame empires you can attack if you want. Sometimes they sit around, do nothing. Sometimes they are integral to what happens and they wake up and that sort of thing. Again, default is fine. Marauder empires are empires that start in game and all they care about is going around, picking fights, and that sort of thing. Think of them as barbarians and from civilization. Again, up to you. 2 or 0 off. I recommend 2, just so you get used to them. Cost, exactly what it says. How much science is it going to take to earn a tech, or how much unity is it going to take to earn a tradition. Again, 1. Habitable worlds. How often is a planet going to be habitable in the galaxy? How many of them are there? Again, 1. Primitive civilizations are civilizations that spawn, but they're not space capable. You can uplift them, you can enslave them, you can invade them. Up to you. Again, just so you get used to the mechanics for your first few games. 1. Crisis strength. So at the end of the game, a crisis is going to spawn. End game start here, so after 2400 default. This is a huge bad guy that you as the galaxy are supposed to come together and fight. Hopefully. Sometimes you can take it out yourself. Sometimes the AI does it for you. But you want them average, crushing, off. Again, up to you. But I recommend first game, 1 strength, just so you get used to our first few games. Crisis type. Currently, there are 3 in the game. I recommend random, so you don't know what you're going to get. But if you want to choose, you can. Again, play the way you want to. It is your game. You have fun with it. But Arthurian, extragalactic. So think Zerglings from StarCraft. Think Tyranid from Warhammer 40k. Along that one. Unbidden, interdimensional. So think Species 8472 from Star Trek Voyager or Star Trek. Think, oh, this is going to be a cut. but from Babylon 5, the interdimensional aliens that invade, I think they're called the Uninvited, or something like that. Or think Chaos from Warhammer 40k. And the contingency is a killer AI that rises up and takes over the galaxy. You have to fight. So think Skynet from Terminator. I recommend random, up to you. Mid-game, so the game starts at 2200. How long do you want your game to last between these three settings? Mid-game is, like it says, at this point you're entering mid-game, you should be preparing. End-game start here, 2400. You're entering end-game, prepare for the end-game. And then 2500, game ends, boom, they compare scores. Whoever has the highest score wins. What it comes down to. I usually play till I beat the crisis, and then I'm like, alright, game done, on to the next one. But that is me. You can set these for whatever you want, but again, default is fine. Difficulty, exactly what it says. Again, hover over it, it tells you what difficulty is. Start with Ensign, work up from there, up to you. Scaling difficulty is... So the way this works is that if this is on, at 2200, the AI gets no bonuses, right? By 2100, all the AI will have a fit. And again, I'm pulling these numbers out of my ass. Right? These are not the numbers, but to give you an idea, the AI will have a 50% bonus. Sorry, 25% bonus to everything. By 2300, they'll have a 50% bonus to everything, or something like that, right? 22. Oh no, because we start at 2200. So by 2300, it'll be a 50% bonus to everything. By 2400, it'll be a 100% bonus to everything. And again, those aren't the actual bonuses. I'm just giving you an idea of what they get. Alright, and then no more bonuses after that. So again, off for your first few games. You can always turn it on later. AI aggressiveness, how likely they are to declare war, and that sort of thing. Almost fine. But mess with it, up to you. Empire placement, there's either random or clusters. Random is just randomly scattered, just like it says. Clusters is, alright, 3 over here, 3 over here, 3 over here, 3 over here, that sort of thing. So if you got 15 empires, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. If you've got 12, it might be 3 over here, 3 in the middle, 3 over, that sort of thing, right? Default's random, just keep it. Advanced neighbors is how advanced do you want the people next to you to be? Do you want them to start with a massive fleet bonus and tech bonus and that sort of thing? Or not? Again, first game, I recommend off. First few games, I recommend off. You can mess with it. Hyperlay density, the lower it is, the more choke points you have. The higher it is, the less choke points you have. That's the easiest way to look at it. Mass relay network. These are like Stargates or mass relays or that sort of thing. They're just faster ways to get around. Default is 1. 5 means there's 5 times as many. I recommend 5 times as many. Wormhole pairs. Wormholes are just like in Star Trek. They're just little things you jump into that shoot you across the galaxy. Again, do you want a few, off, or a lot? I like 1. Guaranteed habitable worlds is, alright, when I spawn, will there be 2 planets next to me that I am guaranteed, are relatively close to me, that I am guaranteed to be able to settle? Or are there none? I like 2, that is me. Caravanners, they're just, they go around, they're random traders, that sort of thing. You know, compatibility. Do you want to be able to fuck aliens? Yes? No. No means you don't have to push your computer as hard. I recommend off. It's just better with off, honestly. Logistic growth ceiling. What this means is when you're on a planet, the lower the pop, the more bonuses it has to growth speed up to a point. And once it hits that point, it starts getting negatives to growth speed. So, Default is 1.5. So just as an aside, so at 1, if there's only one pop on the planet, we get a huge bonus. And that bonus slowly decreases until we get to, say, 50. And then once we hit 51, we start getting negatives to growth. So it's like a bell curve. This just raises that cap. Okay, again, mess with it, but 1.5 is the way to go. Growth required scaling is, alright, I have one pop. It's going to take 10 food to get to 2. To get from 2 to 3, it takes 15. 3 to 4, it takes 20. So on and so forth. Do I want that number to go from pop to pop to pop? Do I want it to be, alright, now it's only +1 for every extra pop? Or do I want it to be, alright, now it's going to be an extra 100 food to go from 2 to 3. 3 to that sort. Default is 0.25. And again, just keep defaults. Iron Man mode is you can't save. You get a save every time the month takes over, and that is the only save you're allowed. It is the only way to get achievements in this game. Again, for your first few games, I recommend off to learn the mechanics. And that is Galaxy Creation 101. You now know the basics. Again, I encourage you, first few games, keep the default, the exception being advanced AI starts off, Xeno compatibility off, and mass relay network maxed out. After that, once you feel an Iron Man mode off, and then once you feel you've got the mechanics, you want to go for achievements, that sort of thing, feel free to mess with things, find the way you want to play. This is your game, play the way you want to play, have fun with it, get nuts, right? As always, I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to check out my other videos. And until we see each other again, remember to be kind to one another. See ya! Hello, this is Gohan the Chinchilla, and we hope you're having a good day, as do I. As always, we hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to follow, like, subscribe, or comment. Or, even better, come on over to twitch.tv/SparkyTDK and watch me live every Monday through Friday. Thank you for your support.